sightseeing there for sights and weirdest I ever seen. What's the night of the marketplace? If official iRacing seasons can be thought of as a 3-act play, then for the Advanced Mazda Cup, Act 1 is over. After 4 rounds of racing, the main characters have been established: Robert Hartley, Mike Dam, Dries Nice, Sonny Kanchan. We've watched the catalysts as Kanchan and Dam got together fighting for a win, and now, with exposition complete, the drama increases as the story moves to Act 2. Rising action must be resolved. Turning points will require every ounce of skill from our protagonists. From Road Atlanta, it's round 5 of the Advanced Mazda Cup's debut season, and all the simulated MX-5 action from green flag to victory donuts can be seen live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing Esport Network. Hello everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast streaming your way on IESN. Nick Schmeg joins yours truly, Bill Soupzon, to bring you our Words Eye View. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is our director, Sean Ambrose, armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beer. This strength of field format has made for a fascinating season. We've seen familiar names and gotten to know new ones as well. With today's round 5 scheduled opposite one of iRacing's marquee event, the Roar Before the 24, attendance, or lack of it, has been a hot topic in the forums all week. But for those drivers who are able to shuffle their schedule, Road Atlanta is the track they'll need to deal with. Nick, tell us a little bit about this place.
No problem, Soup. Folks, if you didn't catch the Advanced Mazda Cup race last week at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, you might see some very similar scenarios in tonight's event. From Ontario to Georgia, trying to maintain lots of speed through elevation change, fast S's, and even a tricky double apex are all important factors that are carried over from Mosport into tonight here at Road Atlanta. Opened in 1970, Road Atlanta has been a fan favorite and iRacer favorite, as it provides roller coaster type racing excitement, drawing crowds both in real world racing as well as in the virtual world of sim racing. Most notably playing host to the Petit Le Mans, Road Atlanta is comprised of 12 turns spanning 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers. Tonight we are 35 miles north of the city in a forest, but right now, let's send you down to the track for the GSRC lap guide.
Alright, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC MX-5, so let's do a lap around Road Atlanta. Coming down to turn 1, this is a very fast uphill right-hander, but it can sometimes be a passing zone if you're brave. Be careful not to wash out wide, because it'll be easy to lose it in the grass and slither off into the barrier. Then we have to transition quickly to get ready for turn 3, which is extremely blind. You've got to pick a reference point and turn it in on faith, making sure to take a lot of inside curb. If you hit it right, you should be able to hold left around 4 to give yourself the best entry into the S's. Once again, your line needs to be just right so that you can take it flat out. Hold right at the end to get the car planted so that it's stable through turn 5. The compression and change of direction really catches a lot of drivers out, so expect many to lose it through here. Then you'll swing left to set up for 6. This is another potential spot for an overtake, but it's also deceptively fast. The camber allows you to carry a lot of speed through here, so getting into the groove and trusting the grip will pay dividends by slicing tenths off your time. Finally, slow it up for 7, which is the most important corner of the circuit. That's because it dumps you onto the long backstretch, which makes up a good portion of the lap. The better exit you can give yourself out of 7, the better your lap times will be, and the less vulnerable you'll be to a pass. But honestly, even if you get a fantastic run, the draft is powerful enough that the driver behind could be threatening you by the time you get to the braking for the chicane. Most people will take the inside line to defend, but the switchback nature of these turns means sometimes the outside driver can hold on and get the inside of the second half. Granted, a smart driver knows how to carry their speed around the outside of that second apex and can still outgun you to the line. Whichever you choose, you're now coming across the crest of the final turn. In the MX-5, it's flat out, but no less scary trying to thread that needle. Hopefully you've kept it on the track and have finished a lap around Road Atlanta.
Joe Peak talking and taking us around Road Atlanta, as well as everything else on this broadcast, is sponsored by Ricmotech, the most complete source of all sim racing hardware. They have it all, from starter kits and do-it-yourself plans to professional level gear and complete motion simulators. They can fabricate adapters, modification kits, and high-end hardware, in addition to carrying a complete line of specialty products from major brands. See it all at ricmotech.com. Now, speaking of seeing it all, we're not going to be able to show you all of the points, but we can show you the top 5. Let's look at those now. In 4 races, Robert Hartley has yet to miss a podium, which includes a pair of wins to open the season. Crawling his way into second is the hamster, Mike Dam, coming off a win last time out at Mosport. Dries Nice has yet to find a post-race podium, but consistency finds the dish licker on a podium in the point standings. Travis Swenke's best result was last round when a second-place finish fell into his American lap. And round 2, second place helps Gene Fittis make the top 5 overlay. Conspicuous by his absence is 4-time MX-5 World Tour champion Sonny Catch Me If You Can'tcha, a victim of early season misfortune. 4 drop races, however, makes Sonny's 6th place, 348-point gap to the leader, very closable. All right, we're always picking up new viewers here on GSRC and the iRacing Esports Network, so go ahead, and we're going to turn it over to Nick and tell you about the race details today.
Yeah, so this is going to be round 5 of 12 of the Advanced Mazda Cup series here this iRacing season. Round 5 of 12 that you see there, the 4 drop weeks. We were talking about the couple of drivers needing them here early on in the year. This is a little different than most of the races here this year. This is 45 minutes as opposed to 25 minutes. 3 of these 12 races are 45 minutes. We had one already to kick off the season at Spa. We'll have one here tonight, and we'll have one at the season finale as well. Open setups, there's a 30% fuel limit. Not quite enough at all to make it without a pit stop. You're going to need one pit stop for sure. You have the normal 17 incident cap limit as well. This is an official iRacing series that uses official iRacing points as well.
And of course, one thing that can always change the dynamic of a race are pit stops. The other thing maybe is weather. Can we take a quick look at what our weather looks like today? See what these guys are dealing with. Nick?
Right now, it is looking like it's 73 degrees and partly cloudy here in the Peach State. 85-degree track temperature. A little bit of wind right now, 6 miles an hour out of the northeast, and just 57% humidity right now. And so not too bad. A little hot, a little bit on the hotter end of things here in Georgia, but that's what you kind of have to expect. A lot of temps coming down here in the south.
Scheduled start time is 1 o'clock, virtual standard time here in the iRacing universe as we race in Georgia. It's going to be a good day for racing, both weather-wise for our two-dimensional fans and for the drivers out there behind these MX-5s. Qualifying going on right now. This is the kind of track where you want to get yourself a good qualifying spot, and it is indeed Dries Nice sitting at the top of the list. How about this guy, Robert Mason? There's a new name sitting right behind him in second.
And you know, Soup, that's the first thing I noticed when this session started here is a lot of these drivers, like you said, running the Roar before the 24 this week, and right now either practicing or running that right now. A lot of these drivers that are up there high in the standings not racing tonight. This is their SOF week off. So Dries Nice coming off strong, has a heavy favorite as he is sitting high in the points and high in the results earlier this year. Has a couple of fourths and a fifth, and definitely the favorite for a podium, if not the win tonight, as well as some other drivers that don't normally get to share the steps of that podium.
And of course, with a lot of new names out here tonight, we invite you to play the GSRC consumption game, wherever the commentators butcher one of the last names. Go ahead, take a drink. We recommend a non-alcoholic beverage, but that's up to you. GSRC cares. Dries Nice continues to be our pole setter. How about Christoph Sanchez? We've seen him before. He's in third. Another new name. How about Jeff Lovell? Sitting down there in fourth right now in car number 4. Small field, only 18 drivers entered in the race. 17 have been able to put in qualifying times.
Yeah, a couple of new drivers out here tonight. Talked about that other 45-minute race we had this year. That was a Spa. Dries Nice able to come home in a 4th place. And Michael Strogbauer, who is in this race, he's sitting P10 right now. He came home 5th in that race.
Strogbauer happy to be here. So a good opportunity to score points. And of course, points are based on your iRacing performance, based on the strength of field. Going to be a little down here with some of the big names gone, but an opportunity for guys to make this top split that is broadcast. And with that said, it looks like qualifying is all done. And with the standing start, let's go ahead to the grid right now. I'll take the top. We got 18. I'll take the top 10. We'll give the bottom half to Nick. Dries Nice. It's going to be inside of Robert Mason. Row 2 is Christoph Sanchez. He's going to be flanked by Jeff Lowell. Positions 5 and 6 go to Travis Wallace and Andres Bertoni. David Patton is going to be down in the 7th position. He's flanked by the Sheriff, Jordy Fike. Brian Scaglione in the 7th position. And outside of him, Michael Strogbauer.
Row 6 is going to be made up of Joey Baloof and Karthik Pai, newcomer to the series as well. Brian Howard and Daniel Juan in that number 2 car. They are going to be 13th and 14th. Behind them, Matthew Martell and Aldis Polis. Those are 2 drivers we've seen quite a bit in this series before. And rounding out our 18-car field tonight, Masato Kozutsumi and Matthew Roca.
Karthik Pai racing in the number 12 car. Really, he should race in the 314 car if I had my way, but you can follow along with my thinking there. Okay, it's time for round number 5. Opportunity for a lot of drivers to pick up some good points here today. Remember, there are 4 drop races, so if your favorite driver is not here, don't be too sad. You can just wipe this one away. Not going to hurt him too much. A lot of the big names not here. Robert Hartley, our point leader, not here. Sonny Ketchen, 4-time champion we talked about, not here today. Obviously, these guys have commitments in the Roar before the 24. Travis Swanke, another big name that we're missing today. But this is a good opportunity to get to know some of these other drivers. All the cars out under this. George and Son, as we wait for the second place driver, Robert Mason, to take his spot. And then we'll start to hear those engines start to harmonize.
Couple of drivers being able to be familiarized with Recmo Tech, which usually sports a lot of these windshield banners, still on the front of Dries Nice there.
And there comes Robert Mason out into his spot. So now you can hear those little MX-5's engines start to rev up. Yeah, they're up to chicken take covering on the cows because the horses are out of the barn. Dries Nice gets a slow start. Robert Mason made a run to make a move but cannot get it done. Squeezing over Christoph Sanchez onto the grass was Mason. As Sanchez tries to duck up there into third. He's going to be able to hold on that position. Stuck up on the high side, losing spots are Jeff Lowell. That's going to give fourth position to Travis Wallace.
Like you said, it was not a very good start for Dries Nice, but with Robert Mason squeezing some other drivers over there, it let Dries Nice get away. He's going to have the lead right now as they start to go single file down through the S's.
Heading into the dreaded corner number 5, which will be more than one driver will have their race ended here today. So far, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars all make it through. Everybody gets through number 5. They head down to 6 before they put down the throttle for 7. There's some passes being made, working down into 6 right now, tucking up on the inside. Joey LaBouffet makes the move on the inside of Brian Scaglione. They continue to go side by side out of 7. Up front, there's a chance of the battle for the lead going on. This is Mason now, has moved around Wallace. I'm sorry, that's Mason now into second. As Dries Nice is cooking with hard fish grease, leaving them all behind.
You're going to see all the drafting and all of the pack racing here on the backstretch tonight as they go down. Dries Nice has a huge lead, but the battle for second really heating up. They are going to make it 3 wide as they go down to the chicane.
I put my eyes back to the leader of the pack, and I thought that it was indeed Mason as he's first to lead that crowd in there. I didn't realize that Nice had driven away as they worked through the little chicane for the first time. Everybody gets through cleanly. Oh no, we got a couple drivers off. Matteo Cosumino is off, as is Matthew Martell, the Red Viper, into the grass.
Travis Wallace moved up from 5th to 3rd of that lap. A couple of drivers had to drop back, like Christoph Sanchez. He's back to 4th right now.
Right now, somebody needs to check Dries Nice's luggage for stolen towels because he is checking out, up by 1.8 seconds on the field. Looking at that gap right now. I don't know if he's missing Sonny Ketchen and Robert Hartley right now. They nicknamed him the Dish Licker. I'll tell you why some other race, but that's anybody from the town he hails from in Belgium. That's what the nicknames are. Riding off the rear now. And you can see how far it is back there to Mason and Wallace and Sanchez, who race 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. David Patton now into 5th.
So one thing we saw at Spa a little bit was a little bit of fuel saving, not too much aggressive drafting down the backstretch. At Spa, similar situation here, maybe with a 45-minute race, maybe they don't want to be as aggressive. But at the same time, a lot of newcomers, this might be their time to be aggressive and shine in the SOF race. And you see guys like Robert Mason, Christoph Sanchez, and Travis Wallace still battling aggressively there for second.
Right on board. You can see that gap as he goes over the hill. I want to put the camera on 10th position real quick to Daniel Juan. Oh, we're going to stay up front as we're looking at this battle up front. They continue to race for second. Oh, this is pretty tight right now. Look at this going on. That's Wallace on the inside, Mason on the outside. He's going to lose momentum through 1. That's going to give the position to Sanchez now. Moves up into 3rd. Look at this going on. That's Mason now defending Patton. Bertoni ducking in there on the outside of Bertoni. They're going to get together. They bang a little bit. That's Jeff Lovell who gets the punt. His right fender is crushed up a little bit.
A lot of contact there. People shuffling through positions. You lose a little bit of momentum here, like we saw there, and a lot of positions can be lost. You might get freight trained through the S's, but at the same time, if you get freight trained through the S's, you got to hold your line real steadily because you might have some quarter panels get some damage.
Look Looking at the move there, making the move on the inside. Joey Boulafay gets that pass made. Move him up to 7th. Lovell back there, diving it in deeper. Oh my goodness, then confusion in the submarine as Daniel Juarez won. I wanted to talk about him. The driver in 10th position. You can see him in that kind of red-flavored car. He has a lot of positions picked up. He's working on the back of the Sheriff right now. Jordy Fike for 9th position. Keep an eye on the number 2 machine. He's a coming. Riding on board with him right now.
Like you said, in the number 2 car, high I rating in this split. Got to watch out for him. He didn't get a good qualifying. Started 14th out of the 18 car field, but he's already moved up 4 spots. I'm sure he's looking up to move more.
Great racing going on. All this going on behind. We don't need to go there. Dries Nice, who's picking them up and putting them down. The top 6 or 7 racing pretty much single file right now. Continue to look at this battle as Jordy Fike tries to hold off Juarez. Up a couple spots, Joey Boulafay is being chased by Jeff Lowell. Now Lovell's going the wrong direction. He qualified 4th. He's now racing back there in 8th. There you can see him coming up. We'll go up a little bit farther now. David Patton being chased by Andres Bertoni. This is a nice little 3-car train that's read by Robert Mason. Mason started on the outside of row 1, sitting back there in 4th right now.
Patton tried to dive down a little underneath. He got a good run, or Bertoni behind him got a good run. And as they go on the backstretch now, see how much of that run they can carry over.
Right on board. Travis Wallace in 2nd, Sanchez in 3rd. You'll see them just at the top of your screen. Good, clean racing so far. Everybody's still out there.
Not seeing nearly as much 2 and 3 wide as we saw before, and a little contact ahead of them with Robert Mason and Sanchez, I believe that was. Mason looks like to get in the back of him, and still contact being made.
Yes, indeed, and it's big. Sanchez has had a big off. This was a long time coming. It started with the first contact and then ducking inside. That was Robert Mason who tried to poke his nose down inside after the cars up in front of Wallace made contact. We'll go back a little bit more.
Quite the chain reaction there. Mason into the back of Sanchez, and then it just kept kind of happening. And
yeah, they survived that. Now here comes Mason right there. See, that's Mason getting in, and that's when it all broke loose.
Patton picked up some damage from that. I think Bertoni picked up quite a bit of damage from that as well.
So now we come back live to Mason, who is well down the order now.
Man, Joey Boulafay got through there really nicely.
So we're going to go back. This is a battle with P8. Now, this is Matthew Roca here, who's had a great run through the field. Started 18th, racing in 9th. He's got the Sheriff behind him, George Fike. But Roca has already made that pass. Jordy just kind of lasso himself to the back of Roca and see where Roca can take him. There's a little bump drafting going on by Fike. Here comes Pye in the red machine behind him.
Pye and Scaglione picking up a lot of draft down into the chicane. Going to be real hard on the braking. They're really got to mash the pedal as they get down there and then get quickly back on the power. But it looks like everyone had a good run through there, especially Jordy Fike.
Just to talk about Roca, he's got about 2 seconds before he gets up to Andrew Bertoni, who's racing in 7th. Let's go ahead with all the nonsense going on. Let's go ahead and set the stage for you because they're shuffled around a little bit. We'll go to our leader, Dries Nice. Remember him? How about 5.7 seconds up on Travis Wallace? Now, Wallace races in 2nd, but now he's got David Patton behind him as they battle for that 2nd position. About 2.5 seconds back until you get to the guys back here in this train. Boulafay, Lovell, Juan, and Bertoni. Oh my goodness, and Bertoni going off into the beach. He's going to lose touch, but here comes Lovell trying to look on the inside as they go down into 6.
There's a little bit of contact involved there to make that happen, I think, with Bertoni, with Daniel Juan, and a little bit of contact there as now you see Juan get around Lovell.
He does, but the momentum to make the pass is going to leave the door open for the white car of Lovell. Lovell trying to pin Juan down to the inside. I think he's going to do it. I hope that Daniel realizes that he's there and doesn't come across. Daniel doing a good job of having track awareness. They're going to go too wide into the chicane.
And while all of their battling goes on, Joey Bullafay in front of them, moving up quite a bit. He loves to see that in his mirror. They're not picking up his draft nearly as much, and he's able to scoot away.
Oh, nice job of braking by Juan there. Robert Mason, I think, just blew an engine on the back straight is my guess. Poor guy, qualified in second position, and I think the car just blew up. I was thinking he blew an engine. Oh no, it was not. It was more than a blown engine. Oh, you know what? He had a hardware failure. Yeah, going into corner 10, he just didn't hit the brakes. So going on behind Dries Nice, 5.6 seconds up is this battle right here between Patton and Wallace. Patton is up 5 spots. Wallace up a couple. Remember, there are pit stops coming.
David Patton using all of the track there, trying to be very defensive right now, guarding that second place position from Travis Wallace, using all the track. He even got maybe even an off track there. He was being really aggressive, and now as he go on the backstretch, see what kind of defensive line Patton might take here. I'm guessing if he's any more as defensive as he was earlier in the lap, he might try to weave a little bit and put his car in a little bit of a defensive line here.
Patton taking a straight line now. Now he eases it over to the right side so he can get a good entry into the chicane. Is that going to leave the door open for Wallace? No, Wallace is going to wait. Back behind him, though. This is where it's interesting. Juan on the inside of Boulafay. Boy, they almost make contact. Boulafay is going to have a hard time getting it wound up. He does. Lovell in 6th. Bertoni in 7th, but all this horseplay, all this nonsense that these 4 guys have been putting on has allowed Jordy Fike. Remember Fike and Roca? Fike was giving him a bump track. Well, Jordy's coming now. He is just a second back behind Bertoni, who races in 7th.
And what a run that Daniel Yeras Juan is being able to continue through this race. Started 14th, already inside the top 4.
Indeed he has. Boulafay behind him. Now, Boulafay's been having a great season. Racing back there, watching it going on all the time coming now. He's only a half second back. It's the Sheriff. Jordy Fike racing back in 8th position. This is going to be a 5-car train. Tip of the hat to Fike, who has left Matthew Roca behind. Roca doing his very best to get back in there and make this a 6-car battle.
Juan drove in there really aggressively. It forced everyone behind him to get maybe go a little more aggressively through the S's, I think, than they maybe wanted to right now, trying to be conservative here early on. Only about 15 minutes into this race so far.
Jeff Lovell in that white car racing in 6th position, had a good drive out of corner number 7. Look for him to make a move on Joey Boulafay right now as he's back about 4 car lanes, although Lovell not gaining much ground.
Yeah, again here on the backstretch, not seeing a lot of 2 or 3 wide racing. I'm sure that the pit stop coming up and the fact that we are still really early in this race in their minds right now. They don't want to be super aggressive. They've seen the incidents that we've had so far. They don't want to be the next victim.
That dynamic can also be applied to the drivers racing in 2nd, and it is still Patton and Wallace racing in that order. Travis Wallace happy to sit back there and maybe save a little fuel. We're going to drop a little farther back. We haven't really had much chance to talk about the Texas driver here of Karthik Pai. He's about to be overtaken. Here comes Brian Scaglione down on the inside of the number 15 cars. They work through quarter number 1. That's Pai on the top side, and that's going to bring in on the low side. How about this guy? Michael Stogbauer. Have not heard much about him as he moves up into 11th.
Stogbauer just about making it 3 wide there as they went through there. Everyone got through there cleanly, though, here.
As they head down into 5, the guy watching on in that yellow car, that's Brian Howard. Racing 4th in line. Staglione with a bad exit out of corner number 5. That's going to make it an easy pass for Stogbauer. Move him up to 10. He's got about 5. Oh, not quite.
Oh.
Are they going to keep it? Woo!
That was close.
Goodness.
Still going to be 3 wide, though.
That tight entry from Stogbauer make him susceptible.
Oh, there's Lovell.
Lovell has had an issue. Lovell's car is in deep, deep problems. He got bumped coming out of 7. Oh, he lost it coming out of 7, yeah.
Looks like he got into it with Juan.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize. He did not get bumped. The car just got loose. And then I think Joey Boulafay came around. Joey had nowhere to go. He got a nose full of Lovell.
And Boulafay, that really early wreck in this race, Boulafay scooted right through there, missed it. 100% had a great luck of the draw. Not that time. He's got quite front end damage now on that number 14 Mazda.
And with that going on, that allows Daniel Juarez Juan to make it up into 4th position. Bertoni now in 5th. And we talked about Roca and Fike. Those guys, well, not only have they caught these guys, they're now racing in 6th and 7th. Good job from those 2 drivers.
Yeah, Roca and Fike, they haven't been fighting too aggressively at all. They've been working together, using their draft to their advantage, make them a little bit faster to catch these packs. And as we've seen all these drivers here aggressively driving, falling off one by one, they've been Jordy Fike and Matthew Roca have been moving up one by one as well.
You can see that the lead group nowhere to be found for those guys. Patton and Wallace continue to race in that order. They're just biding their time into the pit stops.
Boulafay almost looking to make a move there on Jordy Fike. Thought better of it. Might still want to try to get a run here, though. He was peeking.
Now he's going to duck to the inside as they head down into 10. Boulafay gets the pass made. Jordy Fike's he's going to bide his time and do it when it's appropriate. Really loose up in front was Andres Bertoni. That's going to open it up. And that's going to allow that car of Matthew Roca to get another spot, move him up into the top 5, coming from 18th. Do the math. 13th position for the number 17 car.
And Boulafay was about to follow him, but he got a little loose off, really loose off of there apparently. Fell way back.
Missing out of the bunch, Jordy Fike. He's had enough of that going on. He's going to go in and run some hot laps. First of our front runners to actually pit. All this going on. Behind Dries Nice, we're looking at 5th position now. This is the man who's been on the move. No, we're going to jump back to 9th position. Oh, no!
Oh!
That is Scaglione as he loses it. I told you corner 5 was going to claim somebody, and it does.
He got loose, and it looks like Karthik Pai, nowhere to go. Came in there and gave him a little bit of a punch. Not at all Karthik Pai's fault, just happened to be the car following Scaglione when he got loose.
A ride on board with Pai. Something that my driver training teacher told me never to do. And you can see there the contact is made. Now then, as you can see, moving up on the left-hand side then was Brian Howard, who took advantage of that. Howard got around Pai, moving up into 9th, and that yellow machine. Our leader is in the pits. That's Dries Nice coming in. Take a little stop. And of course, all this is going on. Since 2008, iRacing has been at the forefront of esports racing, built exclusively for online competition. Along with the best of the best in iRacing's World Championship, many top private leagues like the one you're watching right now are showcased on IESN. Join the iRacing community and compete online against thousands of players in the world's most realistic online racing simulation, and enjoy watching much of that action here on the iRacing Esports Network. All right. While that was being talked about, our leader has come in and out. Dries Nice has cycled back to 14th position. So welcome to the lead, David Patton.
David.
Travis Wallace. Go ahead.
Yeah, David Patton and Travis Wallace have still been playing nicely, trying to save fuel and just draft with each other. We saw other people like Fike and Roca do the same, pull off the same strategy, just drafting with each other right now, being real conservative here early in the race. I wouldn't be surprised if Patton and Wallace up here decide to pit at the same time as well.
Come up order to quickly take it back to 9th position. We talked about Pye. Well, he just got overtaken again by Brian Howard. Now, Howard got around him when he had that issue, when Pye had the issue going through 5, but Howard gets it back. And all this little dancing has allowed a new driver to come in here, Matseo Kuzasumi. Take a drink, everybody. Racing back there in car number 18 in the 10th position. A little bit of a foe position because as he races in 10th, I think he's going to cycle out behind Fike and Nice, who have all made their stops. In fact, it might be interesting to see the interval from Nice. Actually, Nice is racing in 13th now as he just got around Scaglione. There's Dries ahead of Scaglione. Now, Scaglione has about 15 seconds back to Jordy Fike. Fike's already made his stop, so certainly Fike's going to be able to pick up that position. There you can see. Shows Dries. Now, it shows number 1. That is his number because that's where he gridded up here in the official iRacing event. Racing in 13th. Hey, let's go up to 2nd. I think maybe Travis Wallace might be making a move here.
And I think he might be really tucked up underneath.
I think he just wants to go fast. Yes, he did make the move, got into the back of David Patton, gave him a little hello. Let's see if either of these guys are going to come in this time around. Nope.
Be interested to see where everyone behind him comes in as well. Daniel Juan, Matthew Roca, Joey Boulafay, and Andres Bertoni, that next train of cars. And they don't come in this lap.
Out of that group you just talked about, Matthew Roca is the most intriguing of the bunch. He races in 4th position, up 14th from his original starting grid. Probably one position back as Dries Nice is going to vulture that spot when they come in for pit stops. But Roca is on the move.
And Matthew Roca, despite starting 18th, he's a guy we've seen a couple times before this year, coming off of a 14th place last week at Mosport.
Racing out of New Jersey. Clean race so far. Jeff Lovell, Robert Mason, the only drivers who are out. Oh, let me add Christoph Sanchez to that mix. 3 drivers not going to finish.
Boulafay and Bertoni right now racing a little more aggressively than everyone else on track, I think, right now. That's the battle for P5. Boulafay holding that position right now, but be interested to see if Bertoni makes a move here.
A lot of times you'll see the action heat up when these drivers know they're coming in this time around. They always like to be first to pit lane. Right now they race in single file heading towards the chicane. Juan, Roca, Boulafay, and Bertoni. Right on board with Bertoni right now. Are in line. Let's see if we have any takers.
Quite a big wiggle there from Roca. Oh, there goes Bertoni.
1. Now it'll be interesting. Bertoni is going to clearly get passed by Nice. The question is, how is he going to come out in relationship to Jordy Fike, who's back in 14th? That's the guy we want to pick up right now. Fike out of 7th, heading his way into the chicane. Getting there right now. Bertoni in his box. Yep. Here comes Fike onto the main straight. Yeah, it's be interesting.
I think Fike's going to beat him. Well, maybe not. Bertoni's out of the box now. Yeah, Bertoni's going to have him, I believe, here.
Bertoni gets it out on track first, but Jordy can see him. Interval about...
Picking up speed here.
Yeah.
Gap there about 3 seconds and closing.
Actually gets it down to 2 as that Mazda engine takes a while to get wound up. They head through the S's down into 5. So let's see what Jordy can do, the Sheriff back there racing in 13th. Imagine them sort somewhere out around 6th and 7th is my guess when things get sorted. Boulafay out there now in 4th position behind Matthew Roca. The yellow and red car, 3rd in line is Juan, and Juan's coming in.
Juan looks like to be the only taker on this lap so far to come in.
So he comes in right now. What we're going to do is go back and pick up Bertoni now, who's back in the same position as he was as Juan takes his pit stop. Fike not able to pick up much ground on him at all. Well, he's about 1.2 seconds back. Let me correct myself. Jordy's coming. Bertoni through the chicane.
And Brian Howard and Masato Kozutsumi also coming into the pits there.
Daniel Juan remains. Now Juan beginning to roll. And we can see how we're doing here. Oh, I don't know. He's got to get it up to speed. Here comes Bertoni. He might get it out on the track first. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay out on the track. Here comes Andres. 3 car lanes.
He's going to move out of the way.
2 car lanes. 1 car length as they head down into 5, and he's able to hold on, so Juan maintains that spot. Now it's an 8th. Look at the momentum, though, from Bertoni. Through 5. Oh, he's loose! Sliding like a trombone on a toboggan, as my dad used to say. He doesn't hit anything. Corner number 5 does not claim a victim. Nice catch from Bertoni. The Sheriff, Jordy Fike, says, thank you very much. I'll take that spot.
Howard and Stogby are getting around Bertoni, but he gets it back going nicely. Looks like Kozutsumi going to close in on him, not to get around him, though, but Bertoni keeps it going, didn't hit anything like you said there, and he should be good to continue. And it looks like Matthew Roca is in the pits right now.
Roca was racing in 4th. Look at this. So they're all coming in. Wallace, everybody's coming in. So Wallace, Patton, and Roca, they all race up there. The guy who stayed out, our leader now, is Boulafay, who has not come in yet. All right, the race out of the pits. And it's going to be Wallace out first. Patton's going to be behind him.
So they come in together after driving the whole race with each other together. Down under 18 minutes left. This is going to be interesting to see just how aggressive they get up here with each other.
All by himself, Joey Boulafay. The reason he's all by himself, he's yet to make a pit stop. He'll want to get in and out and see if he can get out in front of some of the other guys that have made their stop, guys like Jordy Fike. Three's nice, racing in 3rd position, behind the 2 drivers who've yet to pit, Boulafay and Tom. Pass for what I'm going to call 2nd. Let's go to 4th position. They are side by side. Wallace and Patton. Patton on the right. Wallace on driver left. And that's a comfortable pass.
This is how they were riding before, Patton in front of Wallace. Wondering if Wallace kind of likes Patton in front of him. Maybe wants to set him up for the last lap and ride behind him until then.
All right, the leaders have come in.
That's going to easily shuffle Dries Nice, of course, back to the lead.
He does. And we have Patton and Wallace racing. Boulafay is coming out of the pits. He's going to get blown by Juan and Fike as we ride on board there with Wallace. Hey, let me correct myself there as we ride on board with Patton. Boulafay able to get out in front in 4th position.
Look at this gap to Nice that they've closed in. That was a huge gap before the pit cycle, and not so much anymore, and Patton and Wallace are going to draft with each other and try to shrink that gap ever more.
Yeah, that seems a bit suspicious. I wonder if Dries made a mistake that I didn't see. He was well out in front. Looking at that last lap, I don't see where the problem might have come from.
Oh, big wiggle there from from David Patton as they came out of that corner. Caught it though.
Yeah, something is fishy in, I would say, Denmark, but that's not the case. As he's hailing from Belgium, look at this battle for fourth. This is Juan and Boulafay and Fike in a battle. Let's go up to the lead. We have a pass for the lead. Something is wrong with Dries Nice. He is overtaken like he's standing still. Patton and Wallace goes by. Did he short fill? Did he not put in enough gas? What is going on with the dish liquor?
Dries Nice did come in far before anyone else, so that could a very real possibility that he is just trying to save fuel.
Looking at the pit stop times for everybody, Patton and Wallace were in their box for 22 seconds. Dries Nice was in his box for 16.
And it was 5 laps before they came in, too, that Dries Nice was in his pits.
16, though, not an unusual time. I see a lot of other drivers with that similar time as well. So, we have a little bit of drama.
Nice, I'm guessing, yeah, wanting to save fuel and try to get behind this. We're side by side for the lead now. Patton on the inside with the preferred line, but it looks like Wallace is going to get that big run.
There we go as they work their way through 6, now into 7. Let's stay on this one all the way to the finish line. Then we'll go to our back marker review. But let's see how this one comes out here. Travis Wallace, our leader. It'll be interesting to see if Nice has anything for these guys. He continues to lose rounds. I'd say 7, 8 car lengths back and going nowhere. Here comes a little bit of a run from Patton as he starts to pull up on the back of Wallace. Not going to force the issue. Nice gaining a little bit as they work through here. Let's follow them all the way down into the first corner and see if anybody makes a move. Your leader, Travis Wallace. David Patton right behind him. The man who's been dominating the race, Dries Nice, all of a sudden back in third.
We were talking earlier, Dries Nice, he's finished 4th, and 5th in the 3 races in the SOF split that he's participated in this year. So we were wondering, he looked like the dominant car. Everyone agreed with us. Looked like the favorite car to win this one early on and break that streak of missing out on the podium. But he's got a little more work to do now.
Let's go to our Trip and Dries back marker shout out. Nick, who you got?
Matthew Martell is our furthest car back right now on the track. He is running 15th after starting 15th, so he's had a quiet race back there, but looks like a pretty clean race as well. So right in front of him, it's Brian Scaglione, who we've seen caught up in a couple of issues. He started 9th and he's fallen back to 14th. Ahead of him is Aldous Pullis in the 10 car, the UK and Ireland driver driving the number 10 car. Like I said, he's moved up 3 spots to 13th after starting 16th. Masato Kozutsumi, he's the lowest I rating in this split, but he has moved up 17th to 12th. He's cleanly gotten through a couple of incidents ahead of him, and ahead of right ahead of Kozutsumi, there is a bit of a battle going on actually for P10 between Brian Howard and Andres Bertoni, who started 13th and 6th respectively.
That's a great place to close out our Trip and Dries back marker shout out. And here comes the pass, the dark car of Bertoni going underneath the yellow flavored car of Brian Howard. They head down into the chicane. The preferred position originally will go to Bertoni, but after they do the left-hander, and Bertoni gets that position, let's go up front to the lead. They've got this sorted out. Patton is out in front of Wallace. Watching the whole thing is Dries Nice.
And Dries Nice not at all letting him get away. He's not he is saving fuel right in their draft, but not more than he has to. So he's sitting right there in third, not letting them get away. Definitely going to try to save fuel, 5 laps worth of fuel possibly that he needs to make it to the finish here and be competitive at the finish.
We have 3 cars up front that we're looking at right now. Patton, Wallace, and Nice. We don't need to go there, but there are 3 cars back battling for 4th. Boulafay, Juan, and Fike. We talked about Roca. Well, Matthew Roca racing in 7th has really lost touch with anybody. He's all by himself right now. So 3 cars, and then a single Roca. Boy, look at the white car there. Nice just will not go. Now here comes Wallace making a move, and Nice is going to get a good look at it. Wallace has no intention to go around Patton right now. Happy to sit back behind him.
Almost down to single digits. We've got 10 minutes left right now as they're going to come up here to the finish line. And Wallace, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he doesn't make that move until the last lap.
Coming around, they're going to be working lap 22 when they come across the start-finish line. It's expected to go 27. All the pit stops are in. 3 cars up front. Patton and Wallace, neither one having a win so far this season. The same can be said for Dries Nice, but he's been closer than the guys in front of him. Let's leave our leaders real quick and go back and look at 4th position. This is Joey Boulafay in a battle here with Daniel Juan. And there he is, the sheriff, Jordy Fike. We've been watching him start at 8th, fell back a little bit, has worked his way back up into 6th position. Remember, it wasn't long ago that we saw Fike doing a little bit of bump drafting with Matthew Roca. Roca long gone now, back by 2.5 seconds.
Jordy Fike told us post-race 1 week ago today at Mosport that he really wanted a nice rebound after a really rough 21st place position run at Mosport that he had. And had his car facing the wrong way a couple of times, doing much better here. I'm sure he's loving being up here in the top 6.
3 guys about 12.5 seconds behind the leader.
Right up front, Wallace getting really close to Patton, tucked right underneath him to the chicane. He's not looking for the pass, but he is being a little more aggressive in keeping Wallace ahead of him, or keeping Patton ahead of him, I mean.
The guy back there saving fuel is Dries Nice. Hopefully he can save enough fuel where he has something to race with at the end and he won't have to pedal it around the final lap as they work lap 23.
Wallace is looking really fast right now. He's got all that draft. Definitely, I think he wants to make that move, but he knows that if he makes that move, it's just going to be Patton making that same move on him in a couple of laps afterwards.
Let's stay on this one all the way down into the chicane here for a minute. Not a good exit out of 5 from Patton. That's going to open the door for Wallace. He gets a good run going to the outside, and he gets him.
So Travis Wallace back to the lead. Now Patton is going to be the one filling his mirror. See if he can apply any pressure if he wants to take back that lead here.
Again, this could all be a little bit of testing too. See what they can do on the last lap. 7.5 minutes of racing to go, and here's going to be a pass for the lead again. Here comes Patton looking to the outside, taking the defensive line on the inside. And he's going to get it. Wallace is going to surrender that spot. And Nick, this is all good news back there for Dries Nice. He's saying, keep mixing it up, boys. Punch a biggest hole as you can.
Absolutely. Nice really wants that draft to stay in front of him. Really wants to save fuel. And if he doesn't have to drive as hard to save fuel, that just makes it all better for him.
There's another 3-car battle. Yeah, back here for 8th position. This is Stogbauer. This is Karthik Pai in the mix as well. Watching the whole thing, Andres Bertoni. These guys were racing farther up. They've all had a couple issues. That's why they're back as far as they are.
Yeah, this lap, Stogbauer got around Karthik Pai, and Karthik Pai not letting him go. And while that happened, Bertoni closed in on him quite a bit.
Pass for the lead. Going a little bit wide. Losing the position is David Patton. Lost that in about turn 3, and now they work their way through the S's. Wallace beginning to pick it up. Boy, he's really picking it up now. Dries Nice. Why don't we can take a quick look at this pass, because I really thought that Patton was going to be in worse shape than he is. He's going to be happy to be in second as loose as this car got. See Patton up in front, and then the car just gets loose. There's a technical section through here, and whoa, that's not the line you want. He gets it going straight, and thank you very much, says Travis Wallace.
Yeah, with just a handful of laps left, everyone trying to make up a couple of tenths here and there, a couple of tenths of a second here and there on the lap, trying to find all of the little shortcuts they can take, and that was one that I don't think Wallace is going to be taking again.
Fortunately, we got a nice 14-second gap between the three cars up in front and this battle back here for fourth position. This is Bullefay. Juan now in that yellow-tailed machine. Back there racing in the middle, and Jordy Fife watching. These guys have only 1.7 seconds on Matthew Roca. He's coming, and Roca's got the pace if he can get there, and he might have time. Roca can still find himself maybe getting that fourth-place spot.
Yeah, Roca's really been closing in on him. That's all mostly because of the big battling that's been going on between Bullefay and Juan. There hasn't been much of Jordy Fike at all. He's been sitting there in the popcorn position, just watching it happen, waiting for maybe a little bit of contact or something, try to sneak through there.
Just under 5 minutes of racing to go. They are currently working lap number 25. The predicted laps was 27. It might go to 28. Hey, Dries Nice making a move. I think he says, I've waited long enough. Nice trying to make a move now to get second position. He's going to get it. David Patton is going to try to fend him off. Nice going around the outside, getting the power down.
That was close. It's still close here.
Going to really cost him. Nice is off into the Atlanta countryside. Gets it gathered back up.
And he got it gathered back up, but not nearly soon enough. He's going to lose a lot of time there and not going to be able to get a draft. He might be able to still get a little bit of a draft here off of Patton.
All this going on behind Travis Wallace is saying, see you later, boy, like you're a skater boy. Now with a 1 second lead over Patton. Not sure if that's enough to pull away. Let's drop back to fourth position. This is going to get exciting. Juan making a look and move. Look at the draft from Jordy Fike. He's a-coming. The Sheriff gets one, and the Sheriff is going to try to get two. They try to squeeze him
there.
over.
Bullefay's going to keep the spot, it looks like, but I think Fike's going to move up into the top 5. Here comes the big run from Juan.
Juan had to check up a little bit to stay out of the trunk of Fike. That gets sorted out, and now Bullefay starts to pull away. 3 minutes and a half of racing to go. They work lap 26. We talked about Matthew Roca maybe making a run. He is in pit lane right now. Any chances he had of that fourth place is long gone. Looking at an 8th place battle now. Pye, Bertoni, and leading the way is Stogbauer. All right, through 7 now. We go back up front again. Wallace, Patton, and Nice. With apologies to the rest of the field, we're going to focus our attention up here as we're getting close to being the white flag. Lap times of 1:36. They got 2:33 of racing to go. My gut tells me this and one more. We'll see. Here comes Patton.
What kind of move does Patton make here? He's going to go left of Wallace here. Going to have the inside here in the first part of the chicane, and I think he's going to clear him. Yes, just barely. And all while that's happening, Dries Nice still following in tow.
Out of the final corner, coming around. And look who's up in 4th position now. It is Jordy Fike has made that move. He's up in 4th around Bullefay. We're going to take a replay on this one.
Good things come to those who wait. Jordy Fike really had to be patient there with that. Between 5 and 10 laps easily of riding in 6th place and patiently waiting for the right time to come. He's going to finally get up to 4th.
Back live, Patton ahead of Wallace with Dries Nice watching in the popcorn position. They go through 5. Getting it up on the curbing is Wallace. I thought he was going to lose it. Boy, he is right on the back. He looks to the right. He looks to the left. Choosing a racing line that kind of looks like the eyes on a cat clock, if you know what I'm talking about. Trying to find a way around Patton.
That was a good exit from both of them. Really good exit, though, from Dries Nice. It'll be interesting to see what he does here.
Nice back there, about a half car length behind Wallace. Nice looking to the outside, wants to get up a position. The draft now from Patton. Patton tries to squeeze over. There's no room because Dries Nice was there. Oh my goodness, weaving back and forth like a loom is our leader, Patton. Wallace now trying to make the move. They come out, this will be the white flag this time around.
Wallace with a little bit of an undercut here, gonna go back down to the inside. Dries Nice right there though, making it really close there.
Wallace gets to go under the white flag first, but he does not have that first position secure right now. Patton on the outside. He's going to give room and try to get a good exit. There goes Nice. He's going to have a hard time getting that car turned around before the rest of the field gets to him. He sits back in third position. He gets it going. I think he's going to be okay and be able to hold on to third. Up front, Wallace, because of that mistake from Nice, has been able to pull away. He's got himself a 1 second gap over Patton right now.
Patton is going to need one heck of a set of turns here so he can try to get back in the draft range even of Wallace.
Riding on board David Patton. Through 6 and out of 7. Half a lap to go. Wallace is your leader. Patton is in second. A great battle going on for fourth right now. Probably better than what we're looking at. Fike, Boulafay, and Juan. Very, very close. We'll be able to cover that one after Wallace comes across the start-finish line. There you're looking at him. That battle continues to head down into the chicane. Going back to the leader through the chicane. It's Travis Wallace. He negotiates the left one. He negotiates the right one. He's just got the sweeping right-hander, and then he'll see the checkered flag. He's got about 10 car lengths. Let's give round number 5 of the Advanced Mazda Cup to Travis Wallace. Back to the 4th place battle. Jordy Fike is ahead of Boulafay. They're going to head to the final corner. Boulafay is not going to... Look at this move on the inside from the dark color car of Stockmeyer. He gets around Juan. Fike is going to get 4th. Boulafay is going to get 5th. And here comes Stockmeyer. Not enough time. He's going to have to settle for 6th.
Stockmeyer out of nowhere there. I think that's really surprised Daniel Juan.
I'll say. Bertoni is going to get 8th position as there are going to be 14 cars on the lead lap. Before we go to break, let's take a quick look at the Red Viper. Matthew Martell, the final car on the lead lap. He's going to finish in 14th position. As he comes around to finish that final lap, the racing is done here in Georgia, but our broadcast is far from over. We're going to take a short break, but we'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on a gate. Don't go far. You're watching GSRC on IESM. Streaming cyberspace into your place via the iRacing Esports Network. This is the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Advanced Mazda Cup Round 5 from Road Atlanta. And it was a humdinger. Let's give you the finishing order right now. Travis Wallace started 5th and goes ahead and picks up his first win of the season as he outduels David Patton for the win. Now, my dad used to tell me if you're the prettiest girl at the ball, you don't have to worry about wearing fancy shoes. Now, the gender confusion aside, what I think my dad was trying to say is if you got the fastest car, you don't need to be fancy in pit lane. Dries could have taken a lesson from my dad, as Dries Nice has to settle for 3rd, although he was clearly the cream of the crop. George Fike gets 4th position, Joey Boulafay in 5th. The back half of your top 10 goes to Michael Stogbauer. Daniel Wan in 7th position. Andres Bertoni gets the 8th spot. Karthik Pai comes home in 9th, just ahead of Brian Howard. Nick?
That was a good run there for Brian Howard in 10th place. Behind him, it's going to be Aldous Polis, who went from 16th up to 11th. Brian Scaglione had a little bit of trouble tonight. He's going to finish in 12th. Could have been a lot worse for him, though, after starting in 9th. Matthew Martell is going to finish 13th in front of Masato Kozutsumi in 14th. Matthew Roca is going to finish 15th. And then we had a couple of early DNFs. Jeff Lovell in 16th. Robert Mason running up front with Christoph Sanchez. They are going to round out 17th and 18th.
And we're here. Now remember, this is round 5. We have 12. This one involved a pit stop. We're going to be back, though, next week. It's going to be a short one, a very fast race. No pit stop involved for that one. You will not want to miss it. Of course, we're here every Friday night or afternoon, depending on your location on the globe. And we'll be back next week for from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve as the series heads back to Canada for a 25-minute sprint race. Now, Nick, we got a little bit of information on Dries Nice. What did we find out?
Yeah, we heard it. He was a half-liter short after the pit stop, so that was a fuel conservation situation there for Dries Nice. He came in, had a really early stop, 5 laps before the other leaders, Wallace and Patton. So half a liter short on fuel. He was able to make it up nicely until that last lap spin.
Again, the prettiest girl at the ball doesn't need the fancy shoes. Dries, put in enough fuel, get yourself that win. We have the opportunity to talk to the sheriff, Jordy Fike. He came home 4th, picked up 4 spots from an 8th position on the starting grid. Sheriff, nice job. You had yourself quite a battle there.
We had all kinds of fun tonight, even though we, some of the normal names were missing because of the Roar first race. They headed over there, but I felt like we did, there was a good race for up front, and then for 4th through 7th, man, all race long for 45 minutes. We just had a great time.
Well, not all race long, because you took an early pit stop. You said thought maybe you were faster than those guys. What were you thinking?
I didn't want to get caught up in their carnage. I just thought they were getting too frisky for a 45-minute race and haven't run enough MWT races to know how this works. I thought, and plus I thought with the normal faces not here, I thought, Suit needs a little something to talk about. So I'm going to give him an early peel late reveal discussion to see how it works out. And of course, you run 5-6 laps nowhere near each other, and then as you come out of the pits, you're just right nose to tail again.
The driver that didn't finish with you was a driver named Matthew Roca. He looked like he might have been really fast as he was working his way through the field. You were behind him for a while.
Yeah, and then he came out behind us in the pits, and I was watching that delta, and that's why I didn't want to get any more frisky with Joey and Daniel than I was. Took a couple little shots, and then he would close up. And then just when he got to that 1.6 mark where I thought he's here, we might as well just have at it. We're not going to keep him away. In my rearview mirror, I saw him make that common mistake. You see come out of 5 all the time, and he just decided to paint the wall with his car.
Jordy, we'll get you out of here on this one. You talked a little bit about it. Some of the big names are gone because of the Roar before the 24. But honestly, I thought it gave everyone an opportunity, some new names to show up. I thought it was a pretty good show. I hope you enjoy watching.
Yep, I'm going to get a nice cup of cocoa and sit in front of the fire and watch the race. It's my favorite part.
A cup of cocoa for the sheriff. All right, enjoy the broadcast, and we'll see you down the road. That is Jordy Fike, a veteran of the MX-5 World Tour, longtime MX-5 driver, and one of the series sponsors here that makes this possible on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Okay, you know what? And I want to talk about where we are right now. This is the Global Sim Racing Channel, but we're also on the iRacing Esports Network. I talked a little bit about it before. They've been around since 2008, and really they are the forefront of what is esports racing going on. And, you can check a lot of the best of the best can be seen in some of the world championships. But also, there are many also private leagues that are covered on IESN, ones like this one. So if you want your fill of simulation racing, that's the place you want to go. IESN, the iRacing Esports Network Global Sim Racing Channel. Glad to be part of the family of broadcasters. And with that said, I have a few more thank yous to do. Let's go ahead and thank everybody at the Advanced Mazda Cup community, especially Jordy Fike, who we just talked to, for supporting the broadcast, and of course the good guys at Recmotech. On screen now are some of the equipment and software used to bring cyberspace into your place. The original music that lets your ears alert your eyes you're watching a GSRC production. Well, that's courtesy of Eric Echolm and June Lalonde. See the screen on how to contact each of them. The Advanced Mazda Cup returns next week for round 6. That's going to be a 25-minute event, no pit stops from Circuit Gilles from GSRC will be there on IESN. We hope you join us. The next IESN broadcast, well, you're going to have your choice between GSRC's coverage of the Grand Prix Legends from Barber or Race Spot's coverage of the Roar Before the 24 at Daytona. Both start tomorrow, Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming GSRC broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about GSRC, you got lots of options. How about GlobalSimRacingChannel.com? Or check us out on social media. Here you go. There's 3 of them. Twitter, GSR Channel. Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. And Instagram at GSRC_Graham. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by heading over to our YouTube page and hitting that big red button. Tell them Soup sent you. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Nick, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching as Travis Wallace gets the win here at Road Atlanta. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, pause for dramatic effect, and we'll see you on the track.